And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gym of the Crypto, episode 793. Today is Wednesday, September 8th, 2021, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today is definitely a 10ish day. Today's top stories: SEC threatens to sue Coinbase over crypto yield program it considers a security. El Salvador says merchants must process Bitcoin transactions or they may face action. McDonald's now accepts Bitcoin, but only in El Salvador. We're going to take a quick peek at the Sevens release. Shout out to Janelle. Thanks for sending that to me. And last but not least, NBA star Steph Curry asks Twitter for crypto advice. And of course, first and foremost, want to give a shout out to SMT sponsor of today's show. As you can see before the show, we upload a quick review video, sponsor video for smartmarketingtoken.com. So make sure, warriors, you check that out and you do what needs to be done. We appreciate you checking out those new projects for us to give us some eyes that we can't always see, and go ahead and leave a comment under that. But make sure you go ahead and check out Smart Marketing Token. All right. Other than that, I want to give some quick shout outs before we get the show started. And pardon me if you see my screen shake since Bitcoin Zay is here. I'm not here today. I'm going to be clicking on this laptop myself. I think he was. I think he got the celebration started early after his latest Fox News appearance. I didn't get a chance to watch it all, but judging from what I saw in the media and social media, it looks like it was another successful appearance. So shout out to Bitcoin Zay. Relax and recover, brother. I got you today. All right, name the dream. What's going on? Timothy Grigsby, Sergeant Max, Saber Saves, Dallas Pipes, DC, Tony Nolly, Solar Mike. Too much for you. Okay, Lauren O'Brien, testing. Notes from Jew, Milto, Aaron, Eric Horton, Jiu-Jitsu, Crypto E, Ron B, JB. Good morning, everyone. And yeah, hope y'all bought the dip yesterday, right? This is what we talked about. That wasn't even a crazy. It wasn't a crazy dip. You know what? Let me go ahead and bring up. Of course, you all and Bitcoin Zay's favorite coin market cap. And let's go ahead and talk about these prices real quick, right? This is the same dip that I keep telling, like, we're going to see the same dip at literally at $100,000 when we cross it. Expect a 10 to 15. I think, honestly, we might see a 20% dip back to 82, 84, 86,000 the moment we cross 100, 102, 106,000. I think that thing's going to dip overnight personally. But let's go ahead and take a look at these prices today. Again, CoinMarketCap, we're taking a look at. Bitcoin is coming in actually a little bit higher. As you can see, was just at 9%, just went to 8%, but it's at $46,182 on this 24-hour cycle, down 8.7%, as you can see here. I think the lowest it hit yesterday was about, it almost went down about 20%, I want to say. We were at 50,000 and some change, 51, 52,000, and the price dropped down to 43,000 on some exchanges. So nice little hefty drop right there. And again, that is par for course when it comes to Bitcoin. We get a nice pump. The next day it drops down. Ethereum also suffered the same loss, down 8.86% at $3,398. Cardano, same, down 8.87%, $2.38. Binance coins down 11% at $412. Ripple is coming in at number 6 at $1.09, down 14%, 14.79%. Solana is also down 14% at $155, though it is still up 36% on the weekend. Polkadot's rounding it out, down 12.73% at $27.85. But again, a couple things I want to mention. Yesterday's show that for the most part, almost everything in the market is still tethered to Bitcoin, right? Like that showed it again. The moment Bitcoin dropped, everything else, with the exception of onesies or twosie coins, for the most part, shedded the same percentage point as well, or some even worse when you look at Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP going down 12 to 15%. But again, when it was all said and done, I think Bitcoin yesterday dipped about 20%, 18 to 20% as well. So interesting to see. It's certainly scared some people out the market already. Yesterday, with the brand new people who are new to crypto, 2021 all of a sudden became weak hands overnight. But that's okay. If you've been in the space, you know this is nothing. If anything, you just caught a quick sell of Bitcoin because it was crazy. Just a couple of weeks ago, 40-something thousand was expensive, right? It was like, still waiting on that pullback to 23. to 25, right? I think we got it down to 27, 29, but 40 something Bitcoin was expensive. Literally the moment it hits 52K, we start to realize, oh, $45,000, $46,000 per Bitcoin is pretty inexpensive. This is a good deal, right? So again, it was really good. To me, it was good to see the market kind of shake out the way it did. Yeah, Joshua Richardson said yesterday was beautiful. Crazy BX Don said a nice sale during the wee hours. Exactly. When we talk about dollar cost averaging, that's the moment you do it, right? So it was pretty cool to see. Let's see. Jake Fever said, you see Coinbase CEO talk about USDC 4% APR product being called a security by SEC. Just got all my crypto off BlockFi. You called it. All right. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the top story of the day. I'm not going to lie, people. This story scares me. It scares me because, again, I am for self-regulation. When it comes to cryptocurrency specifically, when it comes to Bitcoin and the crypto sector, I am for self-regulation at this moment. I think it's too early for any real regulation to come in. They're going to fumble the bag and drop it. I mean, they've done it in the traditional sector. We don't need them to do it here. But it's crazy to see this article that the SEC threatens to sue Coinbase over crypto yield program it considers a security. Now, one thing I will say is the positive thing about this is that the SEC isn't trying to destroy them, right? Of course, Coinbase did its direct listing. They went public. They're part of the gang. They're like, oh, whoa, what are you doing? You guys want some more money? We just paid you off the direct listing. They like, yeah, but we want more. That price dipped. My money was in stock. Now I want it in cash or I want it in crypto, but we want more. That's all the SEC is saying. But this isn't too bad because they're literally coming out saying, we're just going to sue you, right? It's an extortion play. We know the SEC, gang. They just want some money. So I will say the positive thing about this is that it is a money play for the SEC. They're saying we're going to sue you. We're not going to shut you down. We're not going to go after all the operations. We're not going to consider you this totally different. We just want to sue you. Of course, as someone just mentioned, if you're looking at BlockFi, Nexo, and all these other places, where you stake and store your coins to get those high returns or those high yields, considerably high yields, of course, relative to the traditional space. We're talking 7 to 15% on some of these platforms. But I think this is just setting the precedent for these other platforms that, hey, if you want to have these products, if you want to have these high yielding products where people can just sit there, park their money here on your platform, then you need to pay the man. You need to pay the SEC. Where this differs at is when it comes to Ripple and XRP, I feel like they're trying to destroy that project because that is in direct competition with the federal government as well as banks when it comes to having their own Fed coin or their own stable coin. Like XRP is in direct competition with that. So I think in that case, the SEC is actually trying to destroy them, which could be scary because if you destroy XRP, you essentially get rid of like 90% of the altcoin market. They won't have a leg to stand on. But here, they're not trying to destroy Coinbase or these high yield programs as much as they're just trying to tax it. They just want, I just want a taste. I just want a taste. I keep telling you, that's all the SEC is. They just a bunch of gang. They just want a taste. But you can see here, and this is the crazy part, people. This is what's so crazy about it. Coinbase, a unicorn company that just direct listed, worth billions of dollars. The valuation went up to like $100 billion. Was it overvaluated? Yes, but still, billions of dollars of a company value. You have people from Facebook who did the marketing there, like their head PR person works for them. You got people from TD Ameritrade executives. You got people from Goldman Sachs, Wall Street, everywhere. You have all of these high level, these C-suite executives that came to work for Coinbase, right? The smartest of the smartest in the room, the best and the brightest, well-proven executives. They made money, they made business moves, they made the right marketing and PR moves, they've done their job, and they've been rewarded with higher positions at startup unicorns like this. I say all that to say, if Coinbase is coming out publicly, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, is coming out saying they refuse to tell us why they think it's a security and instead subpoena a bunch of records from us. If he's coming out saying, I don't know how to deal with the SEC, what hope do normal citizens have? Like, this is an issue. Like a multi-billionaire with a unicorn company with state backing, with banking backing, regulatory backing is still having trouble with the SEC. What can a normal person do against them? Like literally you can't do anything. So that's one thing I always say when we look at the SEC, how they go after some of the ICOs and different people in crypto. I'm like, Brian Armstrong can't do anything against them. Do you really think the normal person can or the average person who doesn't have access to $1 billion can do anything with him. So to me, that's kind of scary to see that he's having issues and he can't even get a response. But again, this is the United States Security and Exchange Commission, which has reportedly threatened to sue Coinbase over a crypto yield program it deems as a security. Now, we did not talk about the Coinbase one, but we did talk about some of these yield programs, of course, in the masterclass. You know, I got to plug it. And shout out to this week's and last week's sales. People are still jumping on that masterclass and emailing us. So, hey, great that you all are on it and continuing to learn. But again, this is Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, who tweeted out today on Wednesday that there has been some really sketchy behavior, quote, really sketchy behavior coming out of the SEC recently before launching into a 21-post thread detailing the SEC dealings with the firm. Now, again, like this is what you really have to understand. A multi-billionaire who just did a direct listing is coming out to say it's been some sketchy behavior with the SEC. First and foremost, Brian Armstrong knows there's been sketchy behavior with the SEC, but he wanted his company to go public, so he wasn't going to say anything public. Now that it's went public and it's starting to find its price point, which isn't $100 billion value proposition, of course, but as they start to sell in their price point, they've been public. Brian Armstrong is like, all right, enough is enough. Can't take this no more. He was like, look, today is the day I am saying something and saying something he did. One of the infamous Twitter rants, if you've been in the crypto space, you have literally done it. We all have done it. I think one of my first ones was against Coinbase. Is like, how are you guys restricting my account? All I did was buy Bitcoin. Like literally start restricting my account. I think I did another rant against Bank of America before. The most recent one, of course, is USAA because, oh my God, banking with them, just buy insurance from them. Don't bank with them. And let's see, who else? Of course, we had to do the Bittrex rant because Bittrex was negligent back in the day as far as us getting hacked. But this is Brian Armstrong's most recent 2021 rant. Starts it off, some really sketchy behavior coming out of the SEC recently, story time. No, Brian. See, this is the thing about people in crypto. Stop trying to flip-flop between being a part of the community or being a part of gang. Pick your side and stay on it because now Brian's coming out, of course, essentially reaching out to the community like, hey, guys, I need some help. The SEC's been dirty. It's like, Brian, you know they've been dirty. You know they've been dirty. You decide to work with them. And as I keep telling you people, the government is on a 100-year plan, 50-year plan. You keep saying like all these people who are coming from other professions who are trying to mitigate risks, who keep calling for regulation, who think regulation is the best thing on the planet. This is why it's not good. Like he's been offering this yield program before they direct listed, yet it wasn't an issue until after they went public, right? Like people, they're going to take everything. They don't want you to just use a stable coin or to just use a wallet or just use this. No, they want to control the blockchain you're actually using, which for national security and other federal purposes, I understand. If I was a person charging government or regulatory agency, I'd be saying the same thing. Let's take control of this thing if we can, even though, of course, you can't. But essentially, that's what's happening here. And now he's coming out saying, hey, guys, we want help. But millions of crypto holders have been earning yield on their assets over the last few years. It makes sense. If you want to lend out your funds, you can earn a return. Everyone seems happy. Again, do not come out now trying to bargain with these regulators when this is the same sentiment from the 2017 ICO craze. There was nothing wrong with ICOs. People wanted to crowdfund with the entire planet. Mechanisms were formed and you could crowdfund across the entire planet. Everyone seemed happy. Everyone seemed happy except the SEC. And what happened to the ICO market? Every professional who had a project in that market folded under the ICO. They started trying to push you STOs, right? Security token offers, which fell flat on their face because no one came into this market to buy a security. There aren't securities, cryptocurrencies, digital currency. So again, it's funny to see Brian Armstrong come out to community because it's like, look, you know they've been doing this. I know they've been doing this. But now that they're doing this to you, you're worried. And again, this is scary for the yield farming market on centralized exchanges. I think it'll drive more people to DeFi, so it's not a bad thing. A bunch of companies in crypto have been offering versions of this for years. Coinbase came out recently and said we'd be launching our own version. We are planning to go live in a few weeks. Okay, so I guess they weren't live already. We were planning to go live in a few weeks, so we reached out to the SEC to give them a friendly heads up and briefing. See, again, do you not understand gangs? There ain't no friendly heads up. It's, oh, you making some more money? I want in. Like, that's what it is. You're not going to be Coinbase telling the SEC, hey, a friendly heads up, we're going to be offering this new platform and program. No, no, no. You in with the gang. No, that ain't the way it works. You don't go tell the gang boss what you're going to go do. You go ask the gang boss for permission. You go kiss the ring and you say, hey, boss, I got this new plan. We're going to go ahead and throw you 60%. We're going to keep 40%, and we trying to do yield farming. That was your mistake, Brian. You thought you were friends with the gang. No, you're not. No, you're not. And as I said, these regulators, they're on this long-term plan. They don't just want a little bit. They want it all, and they're willing to wait to get it. So Brian now responded. They responded by telling us this lend feature is a security. Okay, seems strange. How can lending be a security? So we asked the SEC to help us understand and share their view. We always make an effort to proactively work with regulators and keep an open mind. They refuse to tell us why they think it's a security and instead subpoena a bunch of records from us. We comply, demand testimony from our employees. We comply, and then tell us they will be suing us and we proceed to launch with zero explanations as to why. I already told you the explanation. It's because it's gangsters. They ain't got to tell you. We ain't got to get permission. We're going to tell you if you launch this, we're gonna sue you. We want our cut, and we don't know how to get it without suing you. So that's just what it is. Number 7 of his Twitter thread. Look, we're committed to following the law. Sometimes the law is unclear, so the SEC wants to publish guidance. We are happy to follow that. It's nice if you actually enforce it evenly across the industry equally, by the way. Now he's starting to snitch. Look, hey, Twitter thread number 7. It's nice if you actually enforce it evenly across the industry, Brian. Come on, Brian, you're a billionaire, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. You're a billionaire already. You made it in the crypto industry. Stop trying to get rid of competition. I see what you just tried to do. That was dirty, all right? That was some dirty macking right there. But in this case, they're refusing to offer any opinion in writing to the industry on what should be allowed and why, and instead are engaging in intimidation tactics behind closed doors. Whatever their theory is here, it feels like a reach/land grab versus other regulators. And again, this goes on for about, I think 22 different messages, 22 different messages, with, of course, him ending up saying that, hey, we may end up in court. Litigation should be the last resort for the SEC, not the first. And hopefully the SEC steps up to create the clarity the industry deserves without harming consumers and companies in the process. And America could really use us all working together to figure this out right now. Oh, Brian, listen, that the lady who came from Facebook PR, good hire, my boy. For one, Brian didn't write that, right? He probably said a version of that out loud, and maybe even wrote a version of that to his PR person, and they cleaned that up, because the first 2 or 3 tweets were definitely his when he was like, hey, it's some shady shit going on with the SEC. And then the last few tweets, his PR person came around talking about, hey, our doors remain open. Hopefully they can step up. But listen, you got to love the reach. He reached out to America in this. He reached out to the crypto community in this. And he even reached out to regulators on this. Just like, hey, it ain't just me out here. Like, Brian, come on, man. Look, one thing we don't respect over here is dirty macking. All right. If you want to holler at her, holler at her. If she my wife or girl, if you're so bold, go holler. Don't bring me up when you do it. Okay. You don't need to put my name in the conversation for you to get what you want out of it if you know what you're doing. But exactly. What's up, Jam? Jam said Brian thought shit was sweet. But I respect them for realizing today they ain't different. Now the finger pointing is a cough, 6ix9ine move. You know what? I don't appreciate it because, again, Brian's already won. He is already at a place in this space where many people are trying to get near. Like, and not just from wealth, not just from the amount of Bitcoin he owns, the fiat currency he made with the direct listing, but just as far as company growth. He had a unicorn company. That's an amazing thing to see. Who would not want a unicorn company in this space, right? In a few years, he went from 0 to $1 billion. Him and his other business partner from Duke University, shout out to him as well. But also is just Brian played a game. He won. He won the regulation. He helped bring regulation in. Don't forget, he was a part of those 50 signatories in the New York Agreement, which in 2017, basically 50 different corporations and businesses tried to fork Bitcoin to control the entire network. Coinbase was one of those signing authorities there in that hotel room in May of 2017. that it did not work, but they tried to fork Bitcoin. So he's already been playing this game against the traditional Bitcoin and Bitcoin community. But now that, again, the SEC is coming at him, he's like, oh, man, y'all going to help me? Hell no, Brian, you didn't hire all those resources. You got that war chest. It's time to put it to use for the community. Let's see. Aaron One Play 5. Thank you for the tip. Said government regulating tech. USA government SEC workers are some of the worst in the game. LMAO. No one good in tech works for government. So what are they analyzing? Great point. And I'm sure that's why, like, the SEC is smart. That's why they didn't even respond to him. And he was just like, they're not even giving us a reason. It's because they don't understand. They know they can't give you a sound reasoning in writing, especially. So they rather just not do it. Again, this is the same thing we've been seeing when it comes to some of the financial derivatives and products, ETFs in the space. Everybody's been trying to get ETFs going for forever. SEC is not allowing it, and they're not telling people why. It just is what it is. So it's very unfortunate to see that. And Carmelo said, when you reschedule the masterclass discussion, please open to more than just a handful that missed it. I learned more from what other people asked too. Hate that I missed it. Sorry, Carmelo, definitely not doing that. We just had like 70 people on. Not sure what happened with the emails, but no, that was like a 2-hour discussion. So what we did say we'll do in the future, though, for the future Q&As for the masterclass is that for the people who are on, if they're okay with us recording it, we'll record it, or we'll give them a heads up to record it. That way, if they're on the screen share, they don't have the screen share. And then for the people in the masterclass who missed it, we can give you a copy of the recording possibly. But even there, I'm not sure we're going to do that. But yeah, that's definitely going to be kind of Johnny on the spot. But we will do one soon for the people who missed it for sure. And Carino, what's going on? Says sketchy behavior is how you describe your roommate. Always going through your mail. You better call Kevin and get hard. Exactly. That's some jail time. That's coming their way. All right. So that's what's going on with the SEC and Coinbase. We'll continue to follow that because of if the SEC does aggressively go after Coinbase. I think this morning we might have already saw the shake in the market that may have came just from that headline. SEC going after Coinbase. That is enough for traditional investors to be like, hey, we won with the direct listing. Pull me out today. Like, I don't know. I don't want to know. Because you have to remember, a lot of these people who invested in Coinbase's direct listing have other business interests in traditional sectors. So if they start to see that pressure of the SEC coming down on Coinbase and it's one of their investments, they're going to cut ties too. So we'll continue to monitor that. Big story though. Another big story, El Salvador says merchants must process Bitcoin transactions or they may face action. Now, cool story, but slippery slope. Because again, this is how it starts. And maybe El Salvador is upfront about this as far as just Bitcoin. But in the United States and other countries, like this headline is going to say, you must process stable coins. You must process Fed coins only, or you may face action. So slippery slope. Again, when you're talking about Bitcoin, dollars, cowrie shells, shekels, like gold, silver, whatever you're talking about, all it is value. So I think the more important thing is that merchants must accept all value or value that's offered to them or face action rather than if you don't accept Bitcoin, to be honest. But again, this is a Salvadorian government official who has said that while businesses must accept Bitcoin transactions, they can choose whether to receive Bitcoin or USD upon settling those transactions. So that's pretty cool to see. Here in an interview with local media, Javier Argueta, the legal counsel to the presidential house of El Salvador, clarified the obligations of businesses the day before the country's controversial Bitcoin law recognizing Bitcoin as legal tender took off. The legal counsel to the president of El Salvador has stated that businesses are mandated to accept Bitcoin from customers, but they are able to choose whether or not they will receive Bitcoin or United States dollars once the transaction is settled. Now, that I can agree on. Again, to enable systems where it's like, hey, you have to accept Bitcoin, you have to accept dollars, you have to accept stable coins, you have to accept what the masses are bringing, but you can convert it into what you want. Now, that does make sense. So again, they emphasize that it will be mandatory for businesses to have the electronic wallet to receive Bitcoin. However, in the transaction, you have the will to receive Bitcoin in dollars, and that is why it's voluntary. So if you buy 1,000 shirts that cost $200 and I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin, you have the wallet, but in the transaction, when you do it, you will have the will to receive Bitcoin or dollars, and that's why it's voluntary. So that's pretty cool to see. And of course, for those who bought or sold, as we also mentioned, like Bitcoin Zay was saying, sell the news at 12 o'clock, everybody buys Bitcoin. It happened, and then the price dipped, right? So whoever went short on that definitely made a lot of money on that bet right there. But one of these companies, of course, who have readily accepted this Bitcoin purchasing power has been McDonald's. McDonald's now accepts Bitcoin, but only El Salvador. Doesn't matter. This is huge. If one franchise is doing it, it's only so long before that yearly meeting and the rest of the franchise owners jump in on it as well. It looks like Bitcoin as a payment is becoming reality in El Salvador after the country formally recognized the cryptocurrency as legal tender. I'm sure many of you saw this on Twitter as well yesterday, but journalist Aaron Van Weerdum broke the news Tuesday after he visited a McDonald's restaurant in El Salvador, where he was presented with a printed QR code directing him to an invoice page on Lightning Network. McDonald's had 19 locations across the Latin American country as of 2019. People, I gotta throw it out there. We teach this in the class. BTC Pay Server, Lightning Nodes, all that good stuff. It's funny. We actually accept Bitcoin for the class for those who are interested as well. But the way we do that, we either withdraw the invoice or just give you a link to an invoice. Shout out to Alec. He's actually our in-house payment processor. We use his node to do that. Our showrunner, of course. But it's possible. It works. It's good. So to see them actually do it, and it's very simple too. You just make the invoice, you print the code or whatever. I'm sure the POS, the point of sale system, can do it automatically when it prints the code. But literally, you pay it and it is instantaneous. Like it is instant payment when it happens. So again, this is the QR code you can see in this guy's tweet right here. And here's his McDonald's. So of course, with your phone, you would just pull out your phone, your Bitcoin you have in one of your wallets, you just click on that QR code, you send it, it happens again, instantaneous, and it's paid for. So again, guess you can buy coffee with your Bitcoin now, right? You can buy coffee with your Bitcoin. And I know some of you all that anti, like, I don't want to spend it, and I want the people who spend Bitcoin. Like, I use it a lot. I spend it. To me, it's worth what it's worth at the time. Do I think it's going to be worth a lot more in the future? Yes, which is why I continue to work and buy more Bitcoin and do things to earn Bitcoin. But you can actually spend it too, right? So it is what it is. I mean, by and large, of course, I do take that back. You don't want to spend Bitcoin. You rather spend Satoshis. But until we are on a Satoshi-based diet, then Bitcoin it is until then. So shout out to Aaron, and thanks for sharing that news for us from El Salvador. And yes, let's go ahead and make sure we smash that like and share. Let me check this out. Oh, them likes are low. Them likes are low. I'm going to this comment section until we figure out what is going on with the likes. Make sure you smash that like at the very least, that little thumbs up. Go ahead and push that button. Or I guess we're going to have a slower show right here. Let me go look at some of these comments right now. Let's see. Milto said, friendly heads up from the SEC. We're going full money grab. Basically, you already know. Too much for you. Okay, said Brian is going to snitch. Oh, yeah, Brian, listen. Brian is going to be like Leonardo DiCaprio on The Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan Belfort, when he had him on a boat and he was like basically trying to bribe him, he was like, I mean, we're the new kids on the block. Like, I mean, if you knew the stuff these other companies are doing, he's like, hey, trust me, I can walk you through everything they're doing. Like, that is definitely Brian right now. He's like, if you knew what these other yield farming and these other staking companies were doing, I mean, BlockFi, I mean, I can walk you through it right now. Like, that is literally Brian right there. Yeah, PFC Will is hilarious, but true. Brian thought he made it to be a part of the gang club, only to find out that he not, LOL. Now he's sideways dry snitching. He ain't right that at all, man. Listen, that's the thing too. It is hilarious to think he made it a part of the club. It takes more than money to get you to the club, people. It takes more than money. Were you a politician? Were you a regulator? Were you in the military? Oh, what? Were you a police officer? Oh, you just a dude who made a crypto company we don't like with a bunch of money? Oh, what? Listen, only reason you're in the room because they about to tax you. You are literally the SEC's favorite rapper right now. You can rap all you want and you can yell SEC and they got your back as long as you pay up. But that's all it is. You ain't part of the gang, kid. What's wrong with you, Brian? Come on, man. Let me stop. I'm trying to get this Coinbase sponsorship one day now. Let's see. Too much for you. Okay, so the SEC wants their weekly protection payment. Bruce Taylor said, Reggie told y'all CDs are security, LOL. That's what I was waiting for. I knew somebody was going to bring up Reggie today. Hilarious. Let's see. And Carino said, Twitter, an imperfect platform for rich man's rant, no triggers. If you're a billionaire, 22 messages later, and he ends up saying he hopes the SEC does the right thing. Exact. You know what? Great point out. You do a 22 message billionaire rant on Twitter and then say, I hope the SEC do the right thing. Bro, doesn't Coinbase have a super PAC now or something? They started a lobbying agency in DC. Like, what have the lobbyists been doing? Like, you literally have people to do that now. So I don't know what was going on right there, but we'll see. Jam's hilarious. Said Coinbase went public. He thought he was good with the SEC, aka Billboard let him get a #1 song on the radio. Now the feds say they didn't let the GDs in the door. Hilarious. You already know it. S1 Dubs, no need to actively abolish the SEC. Just make them irrelevant by using tech to sidestep them and they'll fall and crumble. That's my thing. Like, we don't even have to do anything to the regulators. Like, just allow them to go crazy and say no. Make it so that the only way they can get into your crypto or into any other tech stuff you have in this space is to forcefully do it. So the world will see how crazy these cycles are. Like, it's really what it is, a bunch of human cycles who have nothing better to do than figure out how you're making your money and what you're doing with your money. And they do that because we're paying them as citizens. They don't have to worry about how to make their own money. We pay them their money twice a month. So they don't actually have to worry about making their own money, which is why their business is figuring out how we make our own money and spend our own money, or what they call security or whatever else. Like, we're literally paying them to do this. So if they had to provide for themselves, they had to go hunt the SEC, they wouldn't have as much time to do what they're doing right now. But that's a different story. Crypto and Culture, thank you for the tip. Not a police officer, he said, laughing. Listen, Brian Armstrong said he is playing for the other side. And Sergeant Crypto, I didn't see it, but thank you for the tip. You did say to short Bitcoin 100 times because of El Salvador. Listen, I give it to Zay. He also said that too. But that was our point. It was like I wasn't even thinking about when I first mentioned it until he made that point. But yeah, yesterday was definitely a day to go 100x on that short, and whoever did, I'm sure made some money. Hey, listen, I'm gonna need you all to stop lurking and to stop liking. We got 233 people in here, 157 likes. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. All right, and want to give a quick shout out again. Thanks to Janelle. Sent me this article about the sevens. Essentially, a new NFT came out, 7,000 unique aesthetic collectibles with references from pop culture, anime, games, memes, movies, and more. Essentially, these NFTs could be used in the metaverse. It looks like what's happening, but they launched these yesterday and it's sold out immediately. So it's crazy to see that. Looks like it costs 0.07 Ethereum plus gas. So who knows, that was another 0.02 type of deal. But these 7,000 NFTs already sold out like this. Who this? They have a developmental roadmap. But I like seeing when NFTs sell out. I mean, 7,000 sold out in one day. What will be the price point on these in the future? So again, NFTs are continuing to heat up. And speaking of NFTs, the reason why I wanted to bring that story up also is because Steph Curry is in the market asking for advice. NBA star Steph Curry asked Twitter for crypto advice. That's right. The NBA star tweeted a public call out to the crypto Twitter community to help further his education in space, following a lucrative $206,000 purchase of a popular Bored Ape Yacht Club non-fungible token. Last week, NBA All-Star Steph Curry has reached out to his 15.5 million Twitter fan base for advice on progressing in the crypto game on Tuesday. He just tweeted, just getting started in the crypto game. Y'all got any advice? Crypto Warriors, you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit up Steph Curry and let him know the channel he needs to be checking out. Tom Brady as well, because apparently he doesn't know any better. But he said, whatever you do, don't laser eyes. That's bad advice, Tom Brady. Yesterday, it would have been a great day to actually laser eyes. Or 2 days ago, it would have been a great day to laser eyes, especially with the pump that just happened. So, again, shout out to Steph Curry. Get into the crypto game. I think we've seen like Meek Mill make a tweet like this, Steph Curry, Elon Musk, Michael Saylor, when he started. Like, you have seen these people come out and make these tweets and then follow up with them as far as getting in the crypto space. So, again, at the end of the day, that's a base hit for awareness. 15.5 million people who may or may not be involved in the cryptocurrency NFT or any other ancillary community involved have now gotten some interest. They've all gotten a little bit of information about it to look more into it. So make sure you go ahead and spam Steph Curry. Make sure he knows to check us out over here. Kendra said, I need a steam room and eucalyptus to clear out that mucus and Allegra D. Listen, I usually get Bitcoin Zay here to take a little deep breath. But yeah, it's those allergies are starting to come back. Hey, Roland Wisher said, tune them vocals, King. We need you to sing them likes into existence. I wanted to in my head, but I know I don't have an in me. It's going to sound terrible. It's going to be some cracks, some high pitches. I need Bitcoin Zay here to give me the background, and I maybe can do a little one or two to it. Let's see. S1 Dub said, the brilliance of Bitcoin is starting to show with all these crypto companies getting slapped around by regulators worldwide. That's like, and what's crazy to me is that we are literally walking into our death with it. Like, if you have a company, especially the companies that had already launched ICOs, I mean, that regulatory pressure from the SEC must be crazy because by and large, some of these companies have war chests, and it's just like they still have to be like, hey, it's the SEC. They're going to win this out. So, yeah, this is crazy. But let's see. Parabolic Brap said Brian's going to be like Reggie Middleton. I mean, listen, if they were to actually sue him, it would be very similar. So, yes. James Russ said he's considered rich but not wealthy. The wealthy have influence. The rich just has money. Exactly. That's why I said he is definitely not a part of the gang. Sing some Billy Ocean. Oh, man, listen, we starting off the top of the show tomorrow singing since these likes ain't get up. Don't even worry. All right, really quick, want to give a quick shout out to Smart Marketing Token. Again, just released that video on the website, so make sure you check them out. Smartmarketingtoken.com. This was a sponsored review video, so you already know what to do. All right, I guess I will end it like that. There we go, Timothy. I can't do it. I'm a crack. She's your queen to be queen. What's the day spiel? All right, Crypto Warriors. Make sure you smash that like and share. Check out the masterclass if you already haven't. Check out that smart token video as well. And we will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news and big news. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll be jumping into the second phase of the Crypto Vantage promotions that we have going on in sponsorship. So you do not